I'm here to give a few announcements, but first, you should all know that due to the match with Aaron Albright, King Sam sustained severe injuries and will be away for WIW from some time. See, now, I know a lot of people think that what I did was wrong, but guys, you've got to understand, I don't care. I have spent years trying to establish WIW and make it what it is today. Sam was a constant problem who continuously tried to ruin everything that I had built and rebuild it in his own image. And you are all to blame. I mean, could none of you see that he was manipulating all of you? None of you could see that because he was always on top of his matches that he was the hero, the top guy, the future of the company. Well, him and the rest of the Wolfpack have found out the hard way that that isn't happening. Sam, I told you a million times, this is my show. And let this be a warning to anyone else who tries to follow Sam's examples. You don't see it yet, but I did do the right thing. Let's move on. After Final Conflict, pay-per-view, Lockdown will be next. This is where all the cage matches will happen. I'm talking steel cage matches, Hell in a Cell matches, and this year there will be 2 Elimination Chamber matches, 1 for each world title. Tonight, we will organise the first qualifying matches to determine who will be facing Albright in the chamber. That begins with Jayden going up with Skeens tonight. Remember what I said, people. I ain't going easy anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Darren Jacobs and welcome back to Monday Night Mayhem. I hope you guys have been enjoying the series so far despite all the drastic twists and turns that just happened at the Hellfire pay-per-view. What a crazy night of action, and the general manager making it very clear that things are about to change for the better or for the worse, not determined yet. But next up, first up should I say, we have Robert Hall making his way down to the ring in a very different approach. The bike becoming a lot more common these days. Of course, that trend starting by Original Brad, the newest acquisition of the Monday Night Mayhem brand. Then, of course, that seemed to be followed up by Daniel Robertson, and now Robert Hall has found it. Well, Robert Hall, after his big first victory against Travis Cottrell, is here tonight to try and get some more wins under his belt. He's up against an opponent who's in desperate needs of some wins himself to re-establish himself, to prove his worth and to prove how good he is. After the big win against Travis Cottrell, a former champion, he's definitely got to have proved himself a slight bit, and that's why the general manager just wants to give him some more in-ring time and to see where he can really push himself, especially with Lockdown around the corner. And we're looking for contenders for the European title, the WIW title, and maybe if he can impress, maybe a tag team title opportunity as well. Who possibly knows? He doesn't really have a partner to go for that, though. Next up, Bomber, who we haven't seen for quite some time after his embarrassing defeat to Dixon in one-on-one. He called him out and said that it was his fault that they lost the tag team tournament first round. Dixon took very much offense to that. They both had a match, and that lasted about 2 minutes, with Bomber being absolutely obliterated by Dixon. Dixon, of course, competing at Hellfire last night for the European Championship and was the first one eliminated in that match, so you can question how well he's done by himself as well. But Dixon now has to sit back and watch as Bomber takes the stand. And do you know what? Bomber got off to a good start into here in WIW. He had a good showing, very strong, very positive, and then it just kind of dipped away as he started to lose momentum. And it's got him to this point here where he's trying to open the show to prove that he still has what it takes to be a true WIW competitor. And now here we go. Now Robert Hall, the last person to get a win out of the two. And of course, against, as I said, it was against Travis Cottrell. It's a big win. Travis, of course, losing at Hellfire to Oliver Regem for the Cruiserweight Championship. And the referee, look at this. Early on, the referee having to break this one up. And I think these two just need to get another couple of wins under their belts, really get going, and then, God knows, they could be there for the European Championship. Of course, Hellfire, Wolfe managed to pick up his first title and become the European champion. We'll see him later on tonight in the main event. But there is definitely an opening, definitely a space for that European division to start filling up with some new competitors, because the general manager has made it abundantly clear he doesn't just want to see the same people week in, week out. He wants to see new people rise and show their true potentials. And look at that. Aeroplane spin into a TKO. And beautiful start here out the gate from Robert Hall. It's been pretty 50-50, but Robert Hall just starting to break away, maybe taking advantage if he can. And now he sees Bomber groggy on the ropes and takes full advantage of that and takes him to the outside. So that Hellfire, things definitely changed after that big main event. Still can't quite get my head around it, but the general manager has made it abundantly clear he had every intention of doing what he did, and he doesn't regret it for a second. And now Robert Hall. Oh, look at that! Robert Hall jumps up and hits the knees there with the code breaker, and just enjoying himself here on the outside, going for another charging 450 splash to the Bomber, and he gets him. And Bomber, of course, very much a powerhouse-style fighter, likes to land the big power bombs, the big strikes. That's the type of fighter he is. Robert Hall, as we've seen, quite a good technical submissionist, winning last time out with the Hell's Gate, I believe. And, of course, he's a decent striker as well, but he's a lot quicker, faster. That is definitely for sure. But Bomber, this is the type of strike we're talking about. There's a nice little rolling thunder from Bomber. And now bringing him back to his feet, a big strike. Do you see the power of that punch? And another big move there in the suplex, and that's what Bomber does. He loves the big power moves. He does what's necessary to get the job done. And now look at this, belly to belly. No wasted maneuvers from Bomber. Now to the top rope, oh no, to the middle rope, excuse me, misses that one. And that's the speed and agility advantage that Robert Hall has. Oh, look at this. Beautiful roll through there, picks him up. And now by the neck, air raid siren. Oh, but look at that, just Bomber was about to just shake it off and get up, but Robert Hall decided to pounce on him before he could, and there's a stun off the ropes. And he's going to go for the cover off of it. We've seen that win matches before, and it's only going to be a 1 here. So for Robert Hall, the general manager always loved the submissionist. He noticed that the people with submission moves tend to be the most popular, especially, it always seems to work out in WIW, of course. King Sam, the former, now must I say, world champion and WIW champion, won all of his titles on submission. So if you can prove yourself to be a top submissionist, you're going to stand out in this company, because there are very few people that can do what you do and do it as well as you do. And Robert Hall definitely showed that there. And of course we've seen a couple of other people try that finishing move, but yet no one has quite managed to successfully pick up the win with the Hell's Gate. He has managed to do so. And that could make him stand out if he can keep using that to his advantage. But Bomber using his strength to his advantage now. Oh, look at that with the takedown. Bomber just trying to power through. He's been trying to make a statement the whole time about how strong he is and how powerful he is and how he deserves title opportunities. But unfortunately for Bomber, it just hasn't fallen that way. It started off looking promising, but it just went downhill from there. And now up on the shoulders, looking for a power slam right down onto the apron, and Robert Hall torn in half with it. Is he going to go for the cover potentially? Perhaps off that. Nope. Instead went for the legs and couldn't quite get there. And now look at this. Robert Hall begging him to bring the fight, and the crowd were really into that one. Robert Hall daring him to get back to his seat. And now what's Robert Hall thinking? Oh, look at this. Robert Hall showing a bit of strength of his own. Bomber, nothing he can do, nowhere to go. The speed of these doing this as well. Look at this. Almost as if he weighs nothing there. Giant swing around from Robert Hall. Is that going to be enough, though, to put down Bomber? Oh, no, it's not. It's a 2.5 count. And look at Robert Hall. He knows how close that was. He thought he had it. And that was close indeed. And now look at this. Really starting to show out the strength here. The big moves coming in from Robert Hall. And now the stomp to the face as well for good measure. Not giving Bomber a second to recover. But Bomber snapping him over there. Oh, and now into the cover. Going to try and steal one. Maybe deciding to just get out of this one. But that 1 count might be very worrying signs for Bomber. But Bomber, we know he has the power to end it with a single move. We've seen how sharp and powerful Bomber is. He just needs to land that one big strike, that one overpowering move to get it all done. This could be the way forward. There's a neck breaker, air raid siren. And now Bomber Goes back to the legs. He's clearly trying to do something, but Robert Hall refusing to let it happen. And he's going to go for the cover off the counter here, trying to catch him off guard, and only gets a 2 count for his troubles. And now a kick to the back here from Robert Hall. Being brought back to his feet by Robert Hall. And now look at this. Oh, look at this. Both went for the kick there. It was Robert Hall who connected, but you ain't going to beat that Bomber in a match-up for striking. And now look at this. In a powerbomb position, connects emphatically, and that's what we were talking about, the power of that powerbomb. And Bomber, no! Oh, the hand went out of sight there as the referee was obviously behind the 2 men. I thought that was the 3 count, but he must have just been short. Just Robert Hall finding the strength to kick out. But Robert Hall's taking some powerful hits now. He can't afford to do that. He can't afford to just sit here and take these shots. We've seen in the past that has not worked out well for him. He's found a way to kick out here, break up here, and now has the space to capitalize. Look at this, up on the shoulders, looking for another TKO if he can connect off the aeroplane spin. And look at this, Bomber wisely rolls out for a minute to recuperate, but look at Robert Hall squaring up his opponent, saying almost that he's completely ready for him. Oh, and I'll admit, I thought Robert Hall was going to fly there. He decided against it, and now Bomber's got him up on the shoulders. Oh, wait a minute, look at this, using the LED board to full advantage there on the ring apron. And what a way to start off the show. This has been these 2 really giving it their all here. They don't want to be the top of the card anymore. They want to be in the championship matches. They want to be in the main event. They want to prove how hard they're willing to fight for it, and they're doing all that here. And brought in at the count of 5 here is Bomber. And Bomber really has got going here, and he has not slowed down since that big powerbomb connect, and now an air raid siren neckbreaker. And he's thinking that could be enough. Is that going to be enough for Bomber to get the victory? It's a 2 count again, and look at Bomber's face. The disbelief. But now he's going for that powerbomb again. Robert Hall needs to not let this happen if he wants any chance of this one walking out a win. Bomber sets up, powerbomb in emphatic fashion into the cover, and Bomber picks it. No! Oh, look at Bomber's face. He's saying that should have been a 3. And do you know what I think it should have done as well? That is ridiculous. How the hell was Robert Hall just kicked out of that as well? Well, Robert Hall really showing the fighting spirit as of late, refusing to give in. And now look at this, going for a big move of his own. There's the gutbuster. Shades of Liam Connors. And now all of a sudden Robert Hall fighting back out of nowhere. And Bomber had no clue what was happening. And now look at the strength here from Robert Hall, just dragging him up by the neck. And then slamming him back down. And now Robert Hall trying to advance forward, but Bomber does not appreciate him trying to test his strength. Oh, but look at that again, Robert Hall, with an amazing display of strength and power. Trying to outmatch it. Oh, you see that though? Did you see his face? He's hurt. He is hurt. He's definitely feeling the effects of the power bombs, but now he'll be feeling the effects of this. This is what made Travis tap out. The Hell's Gate. Hell's Gate looked in. He's got him again. He's got him again. Bomber taps out, and Robert Hall picks up his 2nd win by submission on the bounce. And that's what he needs to be doing more often. That type of submission offense, no one is going to be able to keep up with. No one knows what to do with it. But Robert Hall picks up a massive victory. He's 2nd in a row. And now showing a sign of respect here to Bomber, who put him through the paces here tonight. A tough battle between these two, and a sign of respect to show how hard they both fought in that one. A fantastic win for Robert Hall, but a very strong showing from Bomber as well. And I tell you what, they keep fighting like that. This ain't going to be the last we see of these two inside that ring. No, no, no. Fantastic display from these two to begin the show, but we've got plenty more to go. So let's move on down the rest of the card. Next up tonight, some tag team action. And we are going to see the League of Gods in tag team action. Damas and Black Jesus are out here tonight to issue a Greek-style open challenge here tonight from anyone in the tag division or not in the tag division. Anyone who is ready to step up to the League of Gods. The League of Gods have been on a bit of a tag team roll as of late, and Damas has really, in particular, impressed a lot of people, which is why the general manager gave him a European Championship shot at Hellfire. But unfortunately for Damas, was unable to cash in on the opportunity that presented himself, despite quite a strong showing. But the League of Gods, they have been impressive since forming a team, and Black Jesus has come out even to say that, of course, he was reluctant at first to work with someone like Damas, but he has said it's the best decision he's ever made. But all that's missing for these two are tag team championships. And they're out here issuing these open challenges because they want to prove they deserve to be tag team champions, that they deserve a title opportunity, yet, I believe, to actually have a tag team title match. So it'd be interesting to see how that develops. And of course, they must be looking over at the other brand on Final Conflict, seeing at Final Conflict, a Four Corners tag team match is going to happen. So they must be wondering when their opportunity is going to come. But listen to the music. Look who's come out to answer the call. AD Nathaniel and Lachlan. Justice, fresh off their defeat at Hellfire, have answered the call of the League of Gods. And Justice and the League of Gods are going to collide in the ring. What could have been the finals of the tag team tournament had the Cottrells not found a way to defeat Black Jesus and Damas. And that's the problem with Damas and Jesus, always falling short just at the final hurdle. But for Justice, they did the exact same, but besides that one blemish on their record, they are almost perfect in the tag team division as of late. And their Justice has only just begun to be spread. And here we go. Lachlan and AD Nathaniel answering the call of the League of Gods. And look at this, toss to the outside. Straight away, Damas going to take this one to the outside. And this is not where he'd want to be. Lachlan and AD Nathaniel very much preferring it on the outside of the ring. And they'll use any tactics necessary. This is very risky stuff here from Damas, taking it to the outside. But clearly taking advantage of these aerial surroundings here and using the ring side right on the corner to land the shot to the head of Lachlan. Now stomping on the outside here. Damas with a very interesting approach to start this one off. I'm interested to see what he's going to do. Oh no, Damas. Is Damas going for the count-out victory? Damas, look at this stomp to the back of Lachlan. And now he's just going to leave him out there. No way. The count is rising. Oh, look at this. No. Damas, what is he doing? Damas resets the count. And he probably could have had that 1-1 there, but now met with the chop by Lachlan and then taken down with a shoulder attack on the counter. Damas wanting to keep this on the outside, but also wanting to keep this match going. Very interesting here from Damas. I'm wondering what his plan is here. He clearly has one, but just isn't quite executing. And now to the ramp again. What is he trying to do? I'm curious. Now stomping away on the limbs. There's more like the Damas strategy we know. And now Damas going to run away. Is he actually just going to take the count-out victory? The League of Gods make the tag. The count of 9. And that could be it. No way he's going to get back in time. It's a count of 10 and the League of Gods have stolen it. Damas taking the cheap way out. But he got the win. And the League of Gods successfully win their first Greek-style tag team open challenge against Justice. Well, they have been on a tag team roll as of late. And I'll tell you what, Lachlan and AD Nathaniel are not going to be happy about this one. But the League of Gods, they're hungry for tag team success. They want their shots at the tag team championships. And if they can keep pulling off wins like that, they might just do it. I'm not sure how the general manager is going to feel about this count-out win. But then again, that's how Lachlan and AD Nathaniel have done it in the past. So we'll have to wait and see. But a big win regardless. They've stepped up and issued an open challenge, and they've lived up to the task. There's the win, though, for the League of Gods. Let's move on down the rest of the card. Next up, some action from the Mayhem Women's Division. And we are going to see the Mayhem Women's Champion in action tonight. Fresh off her win at Hellfire in what was probably one of her toughest tests to date. She managed to retain against Leia Rose for the Mayhem Women's Championship. And it is to our understanding that we already have an idea who is in contention for that title. And one of those possible contenders are in the ring with her tonight. But here she comes. This woman has been absolutely untouchable, unstoppable. No one has even come close. No one has come close to beating her other than Leia Rose, who managed to get a 2.5 count on her last night after hitting the big knee to the jaw. Couldn't quite wrap up the job. But Sandra Piper has been near unstoppable. She's beaten the Fight Night Women's Champion. She's beaten the majority of women on her roster. She hasn't faced any of the Fight Night roster in particular, but she did face one of them, I believe. I believe she faced Vicky Valentine, if I'm not mistaken. It might have been someone else, but I'm pretty sure she did. But Sandra Piper, just look at the eyes. She's laser focused. She has the height advantage, the reach, and the strength advantage as well. She's a tough opponent for anyone who steps into the ring with her. But Elliot Rodgers, who has been on a little bit of a roll of herself as of late, has a couple of big victories in the women's division, ready to stake her claim to the Mayhem Women's Championship. And tonight would be a great chance to prove that if she is to step in the ring. And we know she's one of the contenders for that title. She's been lingering around the title picture for quite some time now, Elliot Rodgers. She's just waiting for her opportunity to strike and capture that championship opportunity. And now tonight, she has a chance to prove herself. Sandra Piper, we know very much is open to any type of challenge that is faced against her. So tonight, if she can prove to be a challenge to Sandra Piper, then she might be on the fast track to getting herself a Mayhem Women's Championship title shot. Excuse me. It's going to be a tough one, though. Sandra Piper has been on an unstoppable roll. No one yet has managed to beat her. She's been slowed down as of late, but she has not been beaten. Bell rings, and away we go. Look at that massive strike and a Russian leg sweep to follow. And this is where Sandra Piper does all her work. She just goes at you straight away, doesn't give you a second to breathe, and she just destroys you. And before you know it, she's laying down the headbutts, followed by that dreadful tilt-a-whirl slam that's put away so many people. But look at this, trying to fight back here is Elliot Rodgers, not letting her get the control. And that's what she needs to do. She can't let this opportunity end in 30 seconds. She can't let it slip away, because that's when we might not be seeing her in that title picture anytime soon. But look at Sandra Piper, just too strong, too dominant of a force to be dealt with right now. Oh, went for the clothesline. Well ducked there by Elliot Rodgers. Oh, now look at this, a gut-wrench suplex. Couldn't make the most of the opportunity off the counter. And this is what I mean, Sandra Piper just so dominant, so powerful. But now Elliot Rodgers still trying to defy her, trying to get some shots on her here. Big kick to the head now with Irish whip. Gets behind. Oh, look at that. The power behind that snap German. Beautiful connection on it as well. Sandra Piper landing awkwardly, but once again able to just shrug it off. And you can see right now none of these hits are really affecting her. She's going to need something big to keep this woman down. And now a snap German of her own. And she ricochets her head off that middle turnbuckle. And look at this. Piper is ready. She's fired up and the crowd are loving it. She has been so dominant. We're yet to hear her speak. I'm sure we're going to have to hear from her soon. But she has just been so powerful and so untouchable. Now look at this. In the middle of the ring, nowhere to go. The headbutts once again just lashed onto the opponent. And I have a feeling I know where this is going next. Oh, wait a minute, look at this. Rodgers says no. Rodgers says no. Rodgers just shakes it off. Oh, and there's an elbow to the back of the head. And Rodgers trying to find some life, trying to find a way back. But Sandra Piper, just too powerful for Elliot Rodgers right now. And she needs to do something to slow her roll down. She needs to stop her from gaining the momentum she's got right now. Picks her up. Tilt-a-whirl. Tilt-a-whirl slam by Sandra Piper. And another one pays the Piper. No! Oh, hold on! Whoa! 2.5! And look at Sandra's face! She, I think, is the first person to kick out of the tilt-a-whirl slam. And look at that, Sandra Piper. She's not happy. She's angry at that. She did not like that for one bit. Now making her pay with a buckle bomb. Elliot Rodgers just surprised everyone. I thought that was it. And Sandra Piper thought it was it too, and now she's furious. But look at this, Elliot Rodgers fighting back, showing some life in here. Oh, look at the power behind that strike. Piper's down. Piper is down. And she's gone for the cover. Is that going to be enough? Of the knockout strike. A 1 count is all she could muster. And Elliot Rodgers tried to steal this one with the big punch, but now begging her to get back to her feet. Look at this. Daring her for a fight. Elliot Rodgers, what resilience he was seeing from her. But Sandra Piper now, big strikes, landed, spins her around with the power of that one. But look at Elliot Rodgers with another counter. And now playing to the crowd, who were in disbelief. They thought Sandra had just destroyed another potential champion opponent. But look at this, Elliot Rodgers fighting back with the heart of a warrior right now. Look at this, a massive running clothesline and following with a running bulldog. And all of a sudden, just like that, she's back in the match. Picks her up, goes for another big strike, spins her around. Look at this. Oh, what a move! Dropping her onto the knee, face first. And now all of a sudden, this could be near the end. Oh, there's the leg drop to the back of the head. And Sandra just shakes it off. And that must have been the most worrying thing that she's seen all day. Elliot Rodgers just did all that, was dominating her for about 5 minutes, and she just got up as if nothing had even happened, couldn't even get a chance to make a cover. Oh, and look at that, she leant in there, she was going for the tilt-a-whirl, well countered by Elliot Rodgers. And now look at this, just charging at her with a full head of steam at the belly-to-belly. And into the cover now. What a contest this has been. Really fast-paced, really intense fight. And no one's giving an edge. Elliot Rodgers, well, I'll tell you what, she's definitely impressing people here tonight. But Sandra Piper, so powerful. She just gets up, lands the big blow. But did you see all that damage? All of that power that Elliot Rodgers found to land the big strikes. And still, she just got up. But now she's going for it again. Look at this. What a move. I don't even know what to call that, but that's amazing. And now going to set her up again, maybe for another leg drop. What's she thinking? There's the knee to the gut. Sandra Piper's in big trouble. She's down. She's down. And into the cover. This is surely it for Sandra Piper. And surely she's done for. No, she's kicked. And Elliot Rodgers, you can see it on her face. It says the whole story. What more does she have to do to keep Sandra Piper down? And this is just what everyone is wondering at this point. Oh, look at that. That's a cheap shot there. Rake of the eyes. And now grabbing her by the throat, begging her. Look at this. Rodgers begging her to stop. And the referee's called a stop to it. The referee has just called a stop. He's just choked her out. Oh, my God. Did she just choked her out. Sandra Piper has just literally choked a human being to unconsciousness. And gives her the title and runs away, understandably. Oh my God, a woman just got knocked out cold. But look at this. Sandra Piper. She thought she'd just be out here left alone to celebrate, but Catherine Albright staking her claim to the Mayhem Women's Championship. Well, we've seen her up there in the top contenders list as well. But why would you want to even step foot in the ring after what you just saw? Jesus Christ. That might have just been the most horrifying thing that we have ever seen on this series. Sandra Piper literally just choked a woman to unconsciousness. And we do have to move on, but my mind is absolutely blown. But let's move on down the rest of the card. Next up tonight, two people who we are rumoured to be a part of the Elimination Chamber qualifying matches, but tonight isn't a qualifying match. This has been a called out match here because Original Brad, who is making his Monday Night Mayhem debut here tonight, is calling out Stephen Miller for a one-on-one contest, of course. As you remember at Hellfire, these two and 4 others competed for the European Championship. It was Jax Wolfe who walked out the winner on the night, but in the end, it was Stephen Miller who eliminated Original Brad on a roll-up. Brad was not happy about it. He did not appreciate that. He thought of all the ways to get eliminated from what was an amazing match. That was not how he wanted to go out. And Brad now calling out Steve Miller and challenging the Real Deal. And that's not a good thing to do. It might not be the good thing to do because although Brad is powerful and we know how strong he is, a former World Heavyweight Champion, the first ever World Heavyweight Champion that is, we know what Stephen Miller's like when people call him out. He becomes really, really determined to pick up the win, and we've seen him do it on a number of occasions. Still, with only a couple of defeats to his record to the day, he truly is the real deal, and he makes his way down to the ring, never one to back down from a challenge at any point, and the Real Deal now, working up the ladder more and more each day. He's so impressive, and more people are calling him out. More people are recognizing how dominant he is as a fighter. And that's exactly what happened to King Sam before he became world champion. Everybody called out the Wolfpack. Everybody called him out for a match. Everybody wanted to deal with him, and that is exactly what Steve Miller is getting on the Mayhem brand. And that's what he now has to deal with. He has to accept now he's a top dog, and people are going to want to knock off the top dog. And Brad looking to make a huge statement here on his first night in Mayhem, knocking off one of the top guys in Mayhem. He's made it clear to me and to people in the backstage area that he's here on Mayhem for one reason, and that's to conquer the brand here. He's already been a world champion of one brand. He wants to be a world champion of another, which is why we're expecting to see him at some point in a World Championship qualifier for the Elimination Chamber match for the WIW Championship. But tonight, he's calling out Steve Miller as a matter of pride. He doesn't like the fact he lost on a roll-up. He was choked out twice before. That's how he lost his World Championship to King Sam. So we know he's weak at submission. You know, there's a lot of flaws in Brad's game, but at the same time, he makes up for it with his incredible strength, his heart and determination, the ability to kick out of most things. You cannot pin this man. He is a very tough man to keep down for a count of 3, and a lot of people have found that out the hard way. Of course, he has been struggling as of late, and he's picked up the losses on Fight Night, so maybe he's decided, you know what, he's come to the realization he's conquered Fight Night once, and it was only going to get worse from there. You can't get much better than being world champion, and he'd already done that. So now he's over to Fight Night and trying to do that as well. If he can conquer both world titles, he'd be the second man to do it. Of course, King Sam managing to capture 2 at once, but at the same time losing both in the same night due to the unforeseen circumstances at Hellfire. And now look at this. 2 big suplexes, and now looking for one more, this time a fisherman, right into the middle of the ring as well, and Stephen Miller's rolling. And Stephen Miller now lining up, looking to fly. Oh, but look at that, Brad just steps perfectly out of the way. Beautifully timed reversal from original Brad. And Brad, we know, very much a power fighter. He knows he has that battle axe as his finisher. A very strong move indeed. We've seen it put away in most competitors he stepped up with. It may take 1 or 2 tries at it, but it can get the job done. And of course, we know he has the potential to do the Hell's Gate as well. And if he locks that in, that could be the way forward. As we've seen, Stephen Miller picked up his first pinfall or submission loss by the means of submission, getting tapped out by William Hale to the guillotine. And there's a backbreaker following up with a Russian leg sweep. And a lot of Russian leg sweep combinations here in WIW. Into the cover goes Stephen Miller, only going to get the 1. And you know what? Brad is on a great brand here. Mayhem is a brand that is growing. They really didn't show themselves in the whole month of Mind Games, but when Mind Games arrived, they lived up to the occasion, and they've got some fantastic superstars on this brand, and loads of dream matches that you would imagine Brad would be a part of. And tonight, we're seeing one of those. Stephen Miller, one of the top dogs of the brand, and Brad looking to send a message to the rest of the Mayhem brand here tonight. A double axe handle to the top of the skull. And Brad now starting to get some momentum rolling here. But Steve Miller, as we've seen, as everyone found out in that 6-man challenge for the European Championship, is the near impossible man to keep down. Oh, look at that. Beautiful drop down onto the knee. Oh, and Brad's stunned by that. That one hurt. Look, he's still feeling the effects, only to have another knee to the top of the skull. And now look at this, trying to wear down the leg here as well. The limb targeting here from Steve Miller. And this might be a good strategy. Maybe soften him up for a submission. That could be the way forward. And now Steve Miller has him in the middle of the ring. Steve Miller at the pay-per-view took a finisher from absolutely everybody in that match to wrap it. Oh, look at this. Brad was setting up for old school, but rolls out of harm's way. Beautiful move there. And now look at this. Oh, and a takedown by Steve Miller. And Steve Miller with an answer to everything Brad's throwing at him right now. But can Brad find an answer to this? Look at this. Looking for the tie driver. Tie driver connects. Tie driver by Stephen Miller into the cover. Wait a minute. That's surely a rope break. The ref hasn't called it. But Brad kicks out on his own accord. And what a match this has been so far. And the tie driver isn't enough to put it away. But Brad must be an absolute shot. No one has been able to escape the old school. As soon as that arm is twisted, he has never failed to connect, and that is the first time that we have seen that unsuccessful. And now Brad trying to provide some fight back here for himself, trying to get the crowd behind him as he crashes him into the corner, and now picking him up on the shoulders. Oh, and there's a stun off the top rope and a nice little sequence here from Brad, and there's a big boot to the skull, and following it through with a leg drop, and Brad's rolling again. Just like that. Back to his feet. Brad looking for some more. There's a spine buster. And Stephen Miller all of a sudden hit with a momentous amount of power and force, and Brad just not giving him a second to breathe, picks him straight back up. Oh, might have been setting up for the battle axe there, but Stephen Miller did not let it happen. And now playing to the crowd, Stephen Miller, a big fan favorite here on Mayhem. The crowd love him. They know how talented and of a wrestler he is, and now trying to provide a fight back of his own. Two big shoulder tackles, trying to outpower him there. Oh, Brad just tosses him out of the ring. Oh, well, wait a minute. Look at this. Miller's able to recover it, and Brad hasn't even noticed yet. He turns around to find a double axe handle to the skull. Oh, what a fast-paced match this is becoming. And now Stephen Miller has Brad lined up, maybe looking for another float over DDT. Well caught by Brad. Very well caught indeed. And now Brad with an arm twist and into a DDT. And what a battle this has been so far. And Brad playing to the crowd loving it. And now Brad lining him up, looking for the battle axe. Steve Miller's in trouble. Look at this, in the middle of the ring. Battle axe. Battle axe to Steve Miller. The real deal is planted down by the original one and into the cover. Has he got the window? It's a 2.5. And look at Brad's face. He thought he had that one won. Well, that's the tie driver not being able to succeed first try, and also the battle axe. And we figured neither of these men would go down easy, and they're proving that right here. And now look at this. Brad just continuing to mount the offense forward as he has been doing for the last couple of minutes. And now the arm twist again, trying to lock it in tight this time so he doesn't escape. Brad's now on the top ropes. Stephen Miller in desperate need of an escape, but he can't. There's the old school connecting. And Brad taking a breather. He's tired. This match has taken a lot out of him. It's been an intense battle between two of the top people here on Mayhem. And now, looking for another battle axe. Steve Miller in desperate need of an escape, but there's no room for escape. The battle axe connects for a second time into the cover. Is that going to be enough to put away Steve Miller? It's another 2. And look at Brad. He's furious. Slams the mat down in pure frustration. And he just doesn't know what he has to do. Steve Miller kicks out again. Now tries to get him up in the power slam position, but Miller manages to hold on. He's still fighting back here, refusing to give in. And now Steve Miller, big kick to the gut. And now Steve Miller, oh look at this, he's going for the submission. Brad is clearly on the ropes though, managing to reach an arm now, and that might have been costly there. Brad, we know, he's quite weak with submissions. We've seen it in the past, and now suffering the effects of that one. But now Steve Miller trying to fight back, but Brad has just been too overpowering in the second half of this fight. But Steve Miller still refusing to give in. And now the submission hold applied again, turns him over, and in the middle of the ring, he's done his homework. He knows he's vulnerable for submissions. Brad with nowhere to go, he taps. Beautiful work from Stephen Miller on the captain's hook. Submission hold applied, and Steve Miller wins the call out from original Brad. What a match! That was absolutely incredible. Both men gave it their all. And I think we're going to see a sign of respect here between two top superstars. What an incredible battle that was. And I'd love to see that one again. I could watch that one 100 times over, because that was a fantastic contest. Well, original Brad wanted to make a big statement here on his first night on Mayhem, and I'll tell you what, despite the loss, he definitely did that. Could we be seeing these two in the Elimination Chamber for the WIW Championship? Only time will tell, but it's time to find out the first participant in the Elimination Championship, bar Aaron Albright. It's time to move on down the rest of the card. Next up tonight, before our big triple threat main event, which is technically a coronation for all our champions, we had the first Elimination Chamber qualifying match, and Jayden, after weeks of trying to get himself another world title shot, has got himself an opportunity. He earned the right after beating SDC in what was arguably fight of the night, maybe bar the main event, despite its tragic ending, was still a fantastic contest between two tough fighters. But Jayden and SDC, as usual, put on an incredible performance, an incredible battle. But in the end, Jayden, the man with the plan, always wins the second time of asking. If only he could do it the first time round, he would be so dominant as a fighter. But tonight, He has to qualify here for a right to be in the Elimination Chamber and finally get his revenge now on the 4-time WIW champion Aaron Albright, who is obviously the first man a part of the WIW Championship Elimination Chamber match. But the question is, can Jayden cement himself spot number 2 in the chamber and get himself a third WIW Championship reign? And Aaron Albright still seeking for his first title defense, and he might get that soon. But now, here comes the former European champion with a big opportunity here tonight. And the general manager has made it very clear he's been impressed with him for weeks, and he's been pushing him to test him to see if he was ready for the world title opportunity. And the general manager has come to the establishment that he is. And tonight, he's a part of this qualifying match. And if he wins, he has a WIW Championship shot as a part of the Elimination Chamber. Well, of course, at Hellfire, he was defending his European Championship inside a 6-man challenge match, or elimination match, whatever you wish to call it. And Brad Skeens had to prove himself at the top levels. And he's managed to do it. He's managed to keep himself up there, and he knows what he's doing. But the question is for Skeens, can he take that leap from European Championship Division to the WIW Championship Division? We've seen Jace try to make that leap before, and he was unsuccessful, couldn't keep up with the top dogs. But Skeens is hoping he has what it takes to do it. The fans believe in him, and the GM believes in him. But the question is that belief going to transfer over to results? We'll have to find out, but this is going to be one hell of a matchup. 2 top stars going at it. What a card the GM has put out for us here tonight. And now look at this, straight away going for a snap suplex. Not going to waste any time here is Jayden. Skeens trying to quickly get back to his feet. Doesn't want to give him an early advantage. There's a counter. And I have a feeling this match could go on for quite some time. Or it could end very quickly, both with the potential to do that. Of course, we've seen Jayden win matches early with the rolling knee bar. And we've also seen him win matches in 2 minutes through, through countouts or disqualification. We know he has the ability to end it early. It's just a matter of whether that's the game plan going into the match. And now look at this, a beautiful little cartwheel and a backflip for a little bit of style there from Jayden. And Brad Skeens, of course, we know has the potential to land that spear from out of nowhere as of late. He started off desperately in need of a run-up or he wouldn't be able to finish it. But he has evolved desperately now, and he absolutely can do it without a run-up now, and it's powerful enough. And now look at this, Jayden. Jayden going high risk, maybe already looking to wrap this one up. Thought maybe he'd go for the Phoenix Splash, but Skeens quickly back to his feet and prevents it from happening. And gets hit with an elbow drop from the middle rope instead. From the top rope, excuse me. And now into an early cover. Oh, wait, no. Decided against it. And now into the armbar. The submission specialist. Oh, look at this. What a beautiful submission all this is. And now Skeens in early trouble here. And we know how good of a submissionist Jayden is. He won both his world titles on submission, winning by the rolling knee bar. And of course, earned the right to win at Team Mayhem after eliminating the final man on that as well, and went for a camel clutch there, but the foot was already hanging off the ropes there. Jayden, good ring awareness to hook his foot on that rope. And Jayden's off to a good start here. Skeens is struggling. This is Skeens' big opportunity. He cannot afford to waste it. And the GM has made it clear he wants to see what he's capable of, the top flight. And of course, he wanted him to win that match. But I know he's probably not going to believe that, but the GM had every intention of having him not defend the European Championship at lockdown and go into the Elimination Chamber match with the win automatically. But because he lost, he does have to qualify. And the general manager making him work for it. And I'm not sure how much of that I believe from the GM, to be honest. The GM is completely losing everyone's trust, and to be honest, he's losing mine as well. I mean, I can't say much about him because, you know, I don't want to get sacked or anything. But look at this. Straight into the cover there. Off the stun gun. Only gets a 1. Jayden with the control for now, and now a counter. Not going to let him get himself into any control. Now looking for a powerbomb. Oh, well escaped there by Skeens. Turning it into an arm jag. And Jayden going to roll out, sensing the tide is shifting slightly. And Brad Skeens waiting for him to get back to his feet. And there's the spear to the outside. That's what he was waiting for. And now look at this. Look at the flyer Skeens. What a beautiful aerial display. That's not something you see every day from Brad Skeens. And now in the head scissors. Maybe trying to apply the elbows to the top of the skull. But well escaped there by Jayden. And now Jayden with a backbreaker. Jayden now going to try and work away on the outside. And we've seen Jayden win on count-out before and do it happily to earn himself WIW Championship shots. Of course, I'm sure any of you will remember episode 1 of 2K18. He actually won in a two minutes on count-out. And that was enough to get him the WIW Championship opportunity. And was unable to capitalize on that time, losing in the match to Rage, who was a monster at the time, had to be said. And now look at this, trying to get him up. Maybe looking for something big there, but Skeens able to just scurry out of it. And now look at Skeens playing to the crowd. He's definitely grown in confidence as of late. Definitely, since winning that European Championship a few months back, he has been a lot more confident, a lot more composed, and a lot more in control. And now look at this. Trying to wrap this one up. Can he connect? Spear! No! Well countered by Jayden. Jayden had a counter. He had an answer for it. And now beating him in the back. And now more press-ups on the back of Skeens, taunting him, saying this is too easy. And Skeens losing the control now, and he can't afford to let that happen. Jayden looking to advance forward. Oh, beautiful pump handle gutbuster. And Jayden now looking for another submission once again, trying to make Skeens tap, and we know he has the capability of doing it. Skeens in trouble here, needs to fight a way out if he can. He's broke the hold. Very well done indeed. Jayden, never seen him rely so heavily on the submission. We know he can wrap it up with the Phoenix Splash as well. But steering away from the high-flying moves this time. Maybe scared that Skeens can hit the spear at any given moment, because we know it can happen. Into the cover, off that stun off the ropes, he gets a 2. Remember, this is a qualifying match. The winner of this match will get into the Elimination Chamber for the WIW Championship. And now Skeens, look at him fly. Beautiful press there from the top rope. And now, with a head of steam, going to land an elbow. And now going for the legs. But Jayden says no, not going to let him do it. And Skeens landed very awkwardly there, but he manages to shrug off the pain he was in. Clear discomfort on the landing. And now, back to his feet. These two just trying to get one up on each other. It's 50-50 right now. Just trying to wrap up something. And now look at this, Skeens. Oh, slam! And did you see his face bounce off the ropes beforehand? Very nice indeed. And now Skeens looking to fly from the middle rope, from the top rope. Phoenix Splash. And I'm just looking there. Look at where the knee lands. Oh, that's painful. One more time from that angle. Thanks, ref, for getting in the way. Oh, and I've paused accidentally. And now dragging him to the middle of the ring. Into the cover. Is that going to be enough to put away Skeens? No! I thought it was, but it wasn't. Skeens couldn't do it. Skeens kicked out. Jayden couldn't do it. And Jayden thought he had that 1-1 there. Not to be. Now Jayden, look at this with the underhook. Oh, and he's had his fair share of that hit to him. There's the brainbuster. Flashbacks to his match with the WIW champion, Aaron Albright. And now look at this. Skeens is on the back pedal here. He is struggling. He needs to do something, and he needs to do it fast to get himself back in this match. Skeens rolls out of harm's way for the second, but needs to advance if he can. Jayden tried to run away from him, but Skeens didn't let it happen. Now Skeens with a full head of steam and a running clothesline. Trying to provide some fight back here. Jayden refusing to let the control happen, but it might be starting to shift here. Big clothesline and atomic drop, and look at this. Falling through. Oh, and a bit of a low blow there, and a drop kick to follow, but the referee didn't see anything wrong in that one. Skeens now bringing him back to his feet. Oh, but look at this. Well caught there with the leg by Jayden, and into a suplex with the knee trapped. And a big German suplex there, but also wearing down the knee, preparing for that knee bar at any given moment. Now back up to his feet is Jayden. Back up to his feet by Jayden. Goes Skeens, and now a big suplex. And Jayden couldn't wrap it up with the flying what was the move I'm thinking of? Phoenix Splash. He couldn't wrap it up with that. He might need a second go at it. We've seen him win it with the middle rope Phoenix Splash before, of course. He picked up elimination in the 4v4 against Team SDC doing that. And there's a snap over the neck. Just now, both these two just trying to stand out as the clear control of this match, but neither man's really done it. Jayden has come the closest, but every time he gets a head of steam rolling, all of a sudden Brad Skeens is back to his feet and ready to fight again. Now trying to go for a big lift there, and he couldn't quite do it. Jayden again with the counter. And now dragging him to the middle of the ring. Might be able to wrap this one up here. Goes for the cover. The referee a little slow to count, but he still kept him down, but only for 2. And the crowd are loving this. This has been a great match so far. Both men giving it their all for the one prize to participate in the Elimination Chamber. Jayden to the top rope, looking for another. Phoenix Splash connects on Brad Skeens, and look at this again one more time. Brad Skeens hit again with the Phoenix Splash from the top rope. And he's down, and he could be out. Has that secured Jayden a spot in the Elimination Chamber? No! Skeens kicks again. And look at Jayden. He swears blind that was a 3. Jayden can't believe his eyes, but Skeens is still going. Big elbow to the top of the head, and now a kick to the gut. And now what's he thinking here? Always looking for a package pile driver, but Jayden had an answer to it. Jayden says no. And now dragging him to the middle of the ring, Jayden doing whatever is necessary to get back to the world title and become a 3-time WIW champion. Jayden on the search for his first WIW championship match, but right now Jayden is just in complete control, and 2 beautiful backflip moonsaults couldn't get the job done, and only gets a 2. And look at his face, he's almost saying, what does he have to do to end this? He's going for it one more time. This one's a bit further away. He might struggle to connect here, but he connects perfectly for a 3rd time. Phoenix Splash. Beautiful connection again by Jayden, and that's got to be it. Skeens put up a fight, but in the end, Jayden... No! What? What? Look at Jayden's face! No way! Has Skeens just kicked out of a 3rd Phoenix Splash? And Jayden slowly bringing him back. He's tired now. He's had to give a lot just to do that. And yet he still hasn't done it. Skeens with another counter. And now Skeens trying to develop further and mount some offense because he has to. He can't just keep taking the hits and hope to survive in this matchup. Because that isn't going to... I promise him that isn't going to get him to the Elimination Chamber match. And now look at this. This could be the end of it here. The submission hold applied again by Jayden. This could be it. Jayden in the middle of the ring. Skeens in the middle of the ring with nowhere to go. He's in big trouble here. He needs to try and fight out again. How the hell is this man still fighting? That's how he had the power to win the first European Championship opportunity. The American who wears that American flag proud on the back of his shirt. Beautiful combination by Jayden. Just mounted offense more and more. And there seems to be nothing that Skeens can do to keep him down for an answer. Oh, and this is problematic here. The rolling knee bar. Oh, but he just managed to hook the ropes there, Brad Skeens. But the knee bar wearing him down further, and now Skeens trying to mount some offense. But once again, Jayden says no. Every time he's trying to get forward and mount some offense, he has to go straight back into defensive mode. Because once again, look at this. Gut wrench. Pump handle. Gut buster. And for the 4th time in this match, to finally keep him down. There it is, Phoenix Splash, this time straight into the cover, no hesitation, and no, what? And look at Jayden, I think he's fully ready to just walk away and call this one a night. 4 Phoenix Splashes, and still Brad Skeens has kicked out. And now to the middle rope, looking for another Phoenix Splash, no, this time escapes it. And into the cover. Skeens trying to steal it from Jayden. No way. Oh, and it's a 2.5 count. And Jayden got caught by surprise there. And now Skeens has him in a vulnerable position. Now needs to land some big strikes. Now needs to mount the offense. Into the corner. Oh, just crashing him there off to the top turnbuckle. And we knew this was going to be a great match. and it has not failed to live up to the hype. Skeens, big kick to the gut now. Needs to mount some big strikes, and this could be a big one. Package pile driver by Brad Skeens. And now Skeens signalling the end. He's ready to wrap this one up, maybe looking for another spear. This time, actually, if he can connect. Jayden's given a lot of energy to try and put him away. What about defensively? He's done it again. He's countered the spear again. And that was that was Brad Skeens' last hope. Knee bar again, just to wear down the knee. Didn't hold it in for a second longer. He knew where he was. And Jayden, into the German, went for the cover, but it was a rope break immediately. And Jayden just trying anything he can to put it away. The Phoenix Splash is not doing the job. But now, a body scissors to make him tap out and pick up the win via submission. Jayden to advance to the Elimination Chamber. He is not letting that grip go. He's in big trouble here. Brad Skeens needs to fight out. He does. And what a match this has been. Still can't hit that spear to wrap this one all up. Finally hit the package pile driver that he's been trying for a little while. But can't advance further. And there's another big slam down onto the apron. And he's going top rope again. For a 5th time. Can the Phoenix Splash connect? Yes, it can. Phoenix Splash number 5. Surely that's done it. Jayden's going. No, what? What? 5. No. No freaking way. 5 kickouts of the Phoenix Splash. And now Skeens trying to steal it, and he only gets a 2. 5. And look at this. Now playing to the crowd as if he's in complete control. Absolutely amazing. I am in shock here at what Skeens is managing to fight out of, but he really needs to mount some offense, and he's just done so there. And now with a running head of steam, there's an elbow. Oh, but he's connected with the referee who couldn't get out of the way in time. And now Skeens having him down in the middle of the ring, now looking for the package pile driver again to Jayden. Connects with it. Connects with it. And now look at this. You can see he's feeling the effects of all the shots he's taken. He might be in some serious pain. He might possibly be opening himself up for injury. Skeens now looking for something big here. Oh, connects in the middle of the ring. Oh, and a submission holds applied. And the referee's got up just in time. Skeens wins. Skeens wins. Oh, my God. How the hell did Skeens just win that match? Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Brad Skeens wins via submission. What a battle. Skeens has just earned everyone's respect with that win. No, Skeens, don't. You just earned everyone respect. And the curse of the commentator strikes. Skeens taking out his frustrations of losing the title here tonight on Jayden. But he's qualified for the WIW Championship match in what was an absolutely fantastic contest. But Skeens, clearly all the frustration has built up, and despite the happy face he puts on, I just let it out tonight. But I'll tell you what, that might have just been one of the best contests that we have had for a long, long time. Let's move on to tonight's main event. Main event time, in our 3 singles men competitors will be competing in a triple threat match tonight. Here, following the events of Hellfire, and the first man down is the Cruiserweight Champion, Regem, who's left the title backstage tonight again. Not quite sure why, but Regem has been here when he needs it. He's proven his point. He managed to lose to Travis, to give Travis the title opportunity at Hellfire, but when Hellfire came, he rose to the occasion and managed to pick up the win with the Regem combo, which is becoming stronger and stronger as time is going on. But the Cruiserweight Champion here tonight to establish dominance and to prove his point further. And tonight, he's up against the 2 singles competitors. It's got to be a big night for Regem. Finally, his first main event, if I'm not mistaken. And he's up against 2 top-tier talents. Real chance for him to prove himself. Maybe go and push for another title on top of everything he's achieved so far. But for Regem, the success has flurried all of a sudden since capturing the Cruiserweight Championship. He's been pretty happy with how things have gone. But someone else who'd be pretty happy with how things are going is your new European champion, Jax Wolfe. His first title here in WIW, and it's funny to think how once upon a time he couldn't even win a match to save his job. Literally. And now he stands here today as the new WIW European champion. Believe he's the fourth person to hold that title. Of course, Jace, the longest reigning WIW European champion. Then followed by Mason Foster, who managed to pick up that win. He could only hold it for a week or two when Brad Skeens took it from him. And then 2 months later, Jax Wolfe takes it from him in the six-pack challenge. And your new European champion is here. And he's looking confident as ever. What an impressive display he put on, even beating Stephen Miller, which, as Brad found out earlier on tonight, is a lot easier said than done. But the last man down to the ring, everybody in applause for, but I bet there's a bit of a mixed reaction for this man, the WIW champion, Aaron Albright, the 4-time WIW champion. Aaron Albright has come out already to say he had nothing to do with the GM coming down and attacking King Sam in that match. Well, from the injury update we can tell King Sam is out, but we don't know how long he's going to be out for. But it looks like from the injury reports he could be out for quite some time. So at least he doesn't have to worry about King Sam knocking on the door for the WIW Championship anytime soon. But Aaron Albright here now, and he's been given a 4th title reign at the hands of the GM, so he has to prove that he's worth being the champion. He has to, the general manager stuck his neck out for him, realistically. Now has to start proving he's worth that 4th World Championship reign. The referee rings the bell and away we go. And straight away, look at this, Albright going straight for Jax Wolfe, sensing maybe he's going to pose the biggest threat in this match. Oh, look at this, Albright just going for everyone. And this is what we want to see from Albright, just taking on all comers. Doesn't matter who's in the ring, doesn't matter what the threat is he's facing, just stepping up to the task that is in front of him. Jax Wolfe now trying to strike on Aaron Albright, but Aaron Albright flying out the gate, and now a DDT to Jax Wolfe. And now taking the time to taunt the WIW champion. Feeling confident now. Really starting to get going. And now look at this. Oh, a big strike to Jax Wolfe here, who was groggy on the ropes, just trying to get up after the ambush. And now taken down again. And look at this. Did you see Regem charging up that clothesline there from the corner? Manages to connect, only just though, and now Jax Wolfe trying to mount some offense of his own, but taken down again. And Jax Wolfe on the receiving end of a beatdown here from the WIW and Cruiserweight champion right now. And Oliver Regem, been champion now for, would be his 3rd week as the champion. And of course, only the first Cruiserweight champion, making that the longest reign in history. Albright's going to roll out early here. And Jax Wolfe going for some early big moves, but the Cruiserweight champion says no. And of course, for Jax Wolfe, this is only his first night as the WIW champion. And with all 4 of his title reigns combined, Aaron Albright has 4 months, has spent 4 months as WIW champion. And now look at Regem really flying all of a sudden. He started off a little slow, but now he's out the gate going. He's really trying to prove himself here tonight. He says he's the Cruiserweight champion, but he doesn't want people to think it's the lesser title. And pulling off a win here tonight could definitely prove that. Albright went for the kick to the gut. Big counter there. And now Regem rolling. Oh, ducks under the clothesline there from Jax Wolfe. Well done there by Regem. And now following through with a neckbreaker. And Regem going for the big blows tonight. Not going for the strikes that he usually does. Oh, and completely botched that one up. Didn't realise how close Albright was. And now Wolfe and Albright just trying to slow down Regem, who rolls out the ring. And now Aaron Albright famously connects. Famously connects, and he has Jax Wolfe down in the ring. He's going to go for the cover. Regem's not going to get back up there to break up the count. And Albright, no! And the WIW champion nearly picks up the early win. Jax Wolfe in some serious trouble. He really needs to get going here. And he's trying to fight out of this neck hold, and he does so. Oh, look at this! And met with a Luthez press by Oliver Regem, who's then chugged off by Jax Wolfe. Oh! And Jax Wolfe nearly got hit with the discus clothesline, but well countered by Jax Wolfe. And now Wolfe, look at this, trying to provide a fight back. There's a clothesline and another one. And looking for one more. Oh, well ducked under that clothesline and a drop kick. And now, all trying to take advantage there is the WYW champion, who brings Regem back to his feet. Backs off for a second to get a better connection on that suplex. And now to the corner. Might be lining up the super kick. Oh, but wait a minute. What's Jax Wolfe thinking? Is Jax Wolfe... What's Jax Wolfe... Is Jax Wolfe going to let him do it? I think he is. Super kick! Super kick to the Cruiserweight champion. Right on the jaw. Oh, and Jax Wolfe takes him out. And he might be able to steal it now. Jax Wolfe, being the prime opportunist that he is, gets the cover on Regem and steals the match. Aaron Albright did all the hard work. He took him out with the super kick. And from there, he was out like a light. There was the famous to him earlier, but it was definitely the super kick that did the job. But after that, look at this. Just strikes down Albright, gets him to roll out the ring, and from there, it was easy pickings. Regem was out like a light, and the new European champion pins the Cruiserweight champion and gets a first win on his first night as European champion. Well, we know that plenty of people are going to be hungry and gunning for this man's title, but the question is, can he take on all comers and keep hold of that European Championship for longer than 4 weeks? Well, that's currently the best that most people can do on Mayhem. That is going to wrap up tonight's show. Hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like if you did. Comment your thoughts and feelings on tonight's show. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.